Alright, yo, what's going on, YouTube? Back at it again. I know it's been like about 3 years since I've been on this channel. This is my second channel. I don't even really think I was gonna use this channel like that, but I just figured why not? Because before, obviously I was doing like like a little podcast talking to like different like OnlyFans chicks or whatever. I kind of got bored of that, and I just was just like, I didn't really want to do it anymore. Honestly, I didn't really think I was gonna like use the channel like that, unless like it was maybe like for vlogs or something like that. Which, who knows, maybe, but eh. But I think I'm gonna just use this more of a yap session where I just talk about random things that are just like on my mind, or just certain opinions or something. Just a little bit of commentary, and just sit here and just talk. But what actually inspired me to even want to make a video like this was I saw this dude named Loser Maxine or whatever. That's his YouTube channel. I'll probably have it popped up on the screen somewhere. But I really wanted to talk about this, not specifically about this guy, but just the stuff that he's talking about. And I've honestly seen like a lot of videos like this where you got these I guess you could say incel kind of guys. That's like the term people are using nowadays. And honestly, it's like it's like I kind of get where a lot of these dudes are coming from and everything, but it's like for me it's just I feel like these type of guys have this like quitter mentality where, because like anytime, like this is one guy I watch sometimes called Hex Speaks or whatever, right? And he just talks about his whole dating experience. And he's not one of those like incel type of dudes or anything, but he's just a guy that just talks about his experience in dating. And sometimes it sounds a little depressing and kind of makes you feel like, oh my god, it's over for me. But he doesn't preach that. He just tells you what it is. He's just being honest. He's not going to sugarcoat it. So he's just saying like, this is what it is in a dating game, so just know that when you get into it. But he's not saying like give up or whatever, right? But one thing I noticed in his comment sections, anytime he tries to be positive or uplifting or just try to put some type of positivity in the dating game, there's always these dudes that just have this quitter mindset, and I hate it so much. And this is what really made me wanted to make a video, because anytime I see these videos, I'm just like, God, I really want to talk about it. Because on my main channel, it's completely different. I do like animation skits like that, but sometimes I'll put these type of topics in those videos, but make it more of a comedy type thing. But I was just like, I really want to talk about this, So I was like, okay, maybe let me just use this channel to do that. So this is what I want to talk about, because it's just so aggravating that a lot of these dudes out here have this quitter mindset. And I understand, as a guy, it's tough out here, and I'm not sitting up here acting like some of the stuff that they say isn't true, because it is. Dating is tough out here, for both men and women, but especially for guys. But honestly, I just feel like, as a man, and I don't really want to use specifically gender for it, but I don't know, I just feel like, as a man, but even as a woman, but especially as a man specifically, I just think that like if you got this whole quitter mentality, always whining, complaining, and blah, like what kind of woman really wants to be with a guy like that? I feel like a lot of dudes don't ask themselves that. They never really truly ask like, what kind of woman wants to be with a guy like me? It's like they don't really look at themselves in the mirror. And 90% of the time, whenever I see these dudes complaining, I'm not saying all of them, but at least most of them, they always look like they don't take care of themselves. And you could just almost tell, especially sometimes, even if you don't see what they look like, you can only imagine what these guys even look like. And I swear 9 times out of 10, these dudes look like somebody that doesn't take care of their appearance. They don't have the best type of confidence or whatever. But it's just their appearance that's like the biggest thing. And it's just like, so what makes you think that a woman wants to be with a guy like you? And that's not me trying to be mean or anything, but it's just being honest, right? Because like you can't expect a woman to want to be with you if you don't even like take care of yourself. And then on top of that, if you're so sad and super emotional and whining all the time, and then you don't even see yourself as desirable, it's just like, I don't know, it's just, I really hate it so much. And I know a lot of dudes might disagree with me and be like, oh, whatever, call me a pick me or a simp, which I'm none of that, but it's just my opinion. It's just how I feel. And I'm the type of person that would rather just, keep trying rather than quit. And it's like, if you want to quit, go right ahead, you know, that's you. But I just want to give guys of all ages, not just, you know, older guys or young guys, but just to let y'all know, bro, like, it's not, I mean, it's bad, but it's really not that bad, bro. Like, if you really want these girls, the appearance is like the first thing. And I feel like a lot of times we live in this day and age where a lot of people want to sit up and say, oh, looks don't matter, blah, blah. It does. We can sit up here and act like it doesn't, but it does. We all got a type. We all think someone is ugly, or if we don't want to use the word ugly, well, we don't find them attractive, right? Everybody has a type, you know, man and woman. But, you know, I just think that a lot of dudes out here y'all gotta, like, I don't know, just be more positive and just keep trying. I understand this stuff. Unless you tried everything, then yeah, okay, I guess give up. But I personally say just keep trying, bro, because you only got one life to live. And I really do. When I say I hate it for a passion, I legit hate. It's just we live in such a weird day and age. But I don't know if it could just be an internet thing. Because when I go outside, like, I go outside all the time. A lot of these dudes that run their mouth like this probably don't go outside. May not even have friends either. But I go outside, and anytime I'm out, you know, I literally see couples. I see, man, I mean, not even like, you know, good looking couples, but just like average looking people. Like, I remember recently, me and my cousin and his homie, we went to this New Year's. It was like this little nerd event thing. It was called like a little sexy nerd thing. It was like it was the second time we went there, but you know, when we went there, you know, obviously all of us, we were trying to figure, like, you know, trying to, you know, plot and try to find some girls to talk to. And, you know, everywhere we looked, we saw a couple, and it was, you know, a lot of, you know, nerdy looking people, but there was some dudes in there that had, you know, you saw some dudes in there that had girls that you just like, dang. I mean, they weren't like baddie level, but they were cute though, you know. And it was just a lot of couples. So to the point we was looking around like, damn, we even gonna find anybody? Luckily we did. We walked out there with something, you know. But I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I see it all the time. I see it when I go to clubs and stuff on the weekends. Like, there's couples out here. So it always blows my mind when these guys just act as if, like, it's just over if you're an average guy. And that's another thing. This whole average, like, I don't know what it is, like, why people have an issue about being average, but everybody is average. Even Hollywood people are average. If you take the makeup away, literally, if you see these people like Robert Downey Jr. or freaking Adam Sandler, especially Adam Sandler, like, he just walks around, like he just looks like a regular person, which he is. He's just famous, but he walks around with just regular clothes. That's it. But he's worth millions, but, you know, but he's still average. I mean, you know, say average looking. Same with Robert Downey Jr. I've seen photos where he just walks out with a t-shirt and some sweatpants on. I think I've seen Zendaya do that one time before too. Like, these Hollywood folks ain't out here just walking around with the most expensive clothes and stuff, like how you would see rappers, but they're average. Everybody's average. So I just don't understand why people just have an issue with being average. There's nothing wrong with being average. You know, we're all that. But I don't know. It's just so annoying just seeing, you know, just guys talk like this. You know, it's really annoying, and it's just so damaging. You know, especially that guy I mentioned, his name was Loser Maxon. Fitting name, I guess. And I'm not even trying to be mean, but it's just his mentality. It's just loser mentality. But I guess he's aware of that. And it was funny because I saw whatever video I seen of his, I was just like, I even put in the comment too. I was like, I could only imagine what he looked like. And what do you know? I looked on his channel and I saw what he looked like. I was like, yeah, of course, a guy like you has mentality. And that's the thing too. And I'm not, and I gotta keep saying this because I'm not trying to be mean, but it's just like, whenever you hear these guys running mouth like this, 9 times out of 10 they look like somebody that don't take care of something. Now this guy, Loser Maxon, who knows? He might take care of himself. I don't know. But just from what I've seen, you know, and I guess from what he said, he's like in his mid-30s or whatever. It doesn't really look like it because he had like a lot of gray hairs on his face. He looked like he's about at least like 40 something. But he said he's like 6'2", blah blah, whatever. So I'm like, I mean, dude, it's like, you could just work. You got the height, you know, 6'2", that's tall. Just gotta work on yourself. And the fact that he's in his mid-30s talking like that, I mean, it's crazy to me. You know what I mean? And I remember when I like watched this video, I was just like, dude, you sound. And I legit thought before I even saw what he looked like, I legit thought that this guy was probably like, maybe like in his late teens, early 20s. He just sounded like if you saw this guy's video, you would legit thought like before you even like saw what it looked like, you would legit think that this is like some, really young guy, But no, this is like this little bit more older, middle age, dude, and just talking as if like he's some 20 to 21-year-old, crybaby. And I mean, he's still young, he just doesn't look like it, so, but, he could work on himself. But he's just those type of guys that just, it was something he said I thought was so stupid. He said like, it's a humiliation ritual to just even approach women. And I don't know why people keep using that word, humiliation ritual. They use that for literally everything. But I was just like, dude, that's not true. When I say that, it's not, and to any guy out there that watches videos like that, bro, that stuff is not true, bro. It's not like, dude, like, yes, there are some girls out here that are just terrible. But it's like, who cares? Forget them, dude. Like, so what? I've had it happen to me plenty of times. I mean, I ain't never had no girl come at me all crazy when I approach them. Usually, most of the time when I approach a girl, she's pretty respectful about it, honestly, at least from my experience. But like, I've definitely heard guys have experiences, and I've even seen clips on YouTube and stuff. And yeah, I mean, it sucks, but I mean, if that was happening to me, I mean, would it make me feel a little tight? For sure, but I would keep moving, because especially if I know I ain't doing anything, I don't care. I really don't care. If she got attitude, that's her problem. But I just feel like that doesn't really happen as much as a lot of these dudes want you to believe. It really doesn't, right? And it's just like, okay, if you get rejected, just keep it moving. And I know it's like a cliche thing to say, but it's true. And it happens to everybody. Even women get rejected. Do they get rejected as much as we do? Nah. But, everybody gets rejected and we don't like it. But it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of dudes that complain, they don't really try as much as they try to make you think they do. They spend way more time complaining. That's what they do. They spend way more time than complaining than they actually do talking to women. Because it's really not that difficult. It's hard. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot harder, especially I would say for Gen Z generation. But I don't think it's like impossible, And I don't know. Like, me personally, I just feel like, you should just keep trying and, work on yourself and, go for people that like you. Don't go for people that don't like you, That's another thing that a lot of people do on both sides. Both men and women do this. But, just go for girls that, that like you. And I would even say sometimes go for the chicks that you wouldn't typically maybe look. I'm not saying like go for a girl that you think is ugly, but obviously go for a girl that you typically might not have thought about dating. Like for me, I've always been into more thick, curvy, like slim thick type girls, a girl with a big butt or something like that. But as I gotten older, I've kind of looked, obviously I still like that, but I look at petite girls, like little, just slim, petite. Even if she don't got a big butt or, big boobs or whatever, like, it's cool. And I'm just like, oh, okay, Or like, I don't know. I think that's like the only thing. But like, it's just, I just feel like, I guess for me, I just believe in just keep trying. You just got to keep trying, bro. Because for me personally, I got one life and I'm not going to spend the rest of my life just whining and complaining or just give up and being alone. I don't want to be alone. I know most of these people don't want to be alone, but if you want to, that's your choice. But I just feel like to all the guys out there that's like in these old red pill, black pill, manosphere, whatever crap, whatever, like, get out of it, man. Just don't listen to these dudes, the fresh and fits and the dating podcast. That's the thing I wish would die out. Dating podcasts just need to die. They're like one of the biggest destructions in like modern day dating. They're not the only ones, but they're definitely one of the ones, because everybody all of a sudden is a love guru and act like they know everything. And 9 times out of 10, these people they're not even in a relationship, or if they are, they not even happy in their own relationship. They be cheating half of the time, right? They contradict so much, and it's like I feel like it just poisons so many people's minds. Like I feel like 2020, it really created so many people that just had nothing better else to do but to sit up here and just spew nonsense. It gave so much time for people just to come up with a bunch of nonsense and monetize off it. Because before, I feel like this wasn't too much of a thing. But it's just like now, it's just like, I don't know. But to all my fellas out there, and even women too, but especially to the men, this is one thing I kind of noticed on both sides. I might even make a video for the women as well, but this is definitely something for the fellas out here. You know, just, bro, keep trying, man. Go for girls that want you, man. Work on yourself. Really ask yourself, like, look into the mirror. Really ask yourself, does a woman like what do I have that a woman would want to even date me for? You know, like, am I even attractive, or do I got myself together? You know, am I actually out here doing what I'm supposed to do? Am I paying my bills? You know, am I, you know, just, I don't know, something. Like, you got to really look at yourself in the mirror and just, you know, really look at yourself, especially if you're getting rejected that many times. You really got to look at yourself, man, and just kind of see, you just really got to work on yourself. That's what I personally think. Because, you know, I think a lot of people don't really do self-reflection. This goes like both sides, you know, both men and women. But I just feel like, you know, a lot of dudes out here, man, y'all gotta decide and like this. I get it, don't get me wrong. It hits me sometimes too, but at the same time, I just keep pushing, bro, because I'm just a personal believer of, like, you know, you keep trying, and not even just in dating, but in just everything in life. You know, whether it's a job, or, you know, if you're practicing basketball, or if you're practicing martial arts, or if you're drawing, or you're trying to get better at a video game. I just believe in, you know, you just keep trying, because I mean, nothing's really gonna always be easy, and, you know, even though it's getting harder out here in this dating scene, you know, just keep trying, man. I get it, it's tough, but, you know, just, bro, work on yourself, because a lot of you dudes out here that's complaining, bro, I promise you, man, y'all really don't got, y'all, there's a reason why a lot of these females ain't really messing with you like that. And there might be some dudes out here that's actually taking care of themselves, and that's actually grooming themselves, and really, you know, and they might, and I'm pretty sure for sure they struggling too. I'm not sitting there acting like that's not the case, but there's a lot of dudes, I kid you not, I know I'm not the only one that notices this, but there's a lot of guys out there that you can literally just tell. They never have a profile picture, or if they do have a profile picture, 9 times out of 10 they look like something like, they look like the typical dude stereotype that's like living in his mom's basement eating Cheetos all day. So, you know, and it's like, work on yourselves, man. Just stop watching these dating podcasts, all that stuff. Stop watching these videos of these dudes talking about these girls or whatever. Stop worrying about what some of these little man-hating women gotta say. Who freaking cares, bro? Because not every woman out there is like that, out to get you, bro. There's a lot of girls out there that are really cool, and, you know, but it's tough. I mean, I'm not sitting saying that I got all the answers and that, oh, everything is just gonna be perfect and you're gonna get everything that you want. Nah, it's tough, but you just gotta keep pushing until you try everything. But I can tell a lot of you guys out here probably haven't done that. Y'all just need to, man. Just, you gotta get up. You know, you keep pushing, bro. It's just, you know, I mean, you know, dating ain't supposed to be like this, but sadly it is. And hopefully one day it changes and gets better. Hopefully, you know, like our generation, Gen Z, and maybe even millennials as well. Hopefully the next generation, possibly Gen Alpha, or maybe even Gen Beta, I think is after. Hopefully they look at us and they see like, okay, that's not what I want to do. Let's do better. So hopefully they're the ones that kind of makes the dating scene a little bit better. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, bro, just all you dudes out there, bro, just stop with this loser mentality, man. Just honestly, bro, just do better. But I don't know, that's all I really wanted to talk about. Not really too much. I kind of figured I would have a lot more, but that's pretty much all I really wanted to talk about. I'm actually trying to upload a little bit more on this channel here and there, not like daily uploads. I'm mostly focusing on my main channel. Make sure you check that out. It's Thorough Finesse. I'll have the links in the description so you can check it out. To, you know, everything, my Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. But here I'm just gonna be rambling about whatever. You know, my main channel, that's specifically for just, you know, pure entertainment. Here I'm just talking about like just raw, like random opinions about just anything. It's not a specific thing, but just like This is just my like yap channel. Literally, I'm just talking about stuff. That's it. You know, no editing, no nothing, just pure boom. That's it. But yeah, man, some fellas out there, like I said, bro, keep it pushing, bro. It's all good. I understand. It's tough. It's tough out here, man. I understand. Some of these women out here, don't get me wrong, they could be annoying. I understand, but you know, just don't let all the internet stuff or these little, I guess you call them, these little incel black pill guys, because some of the stuff they say is true. Don't get me wrong, but most of it is just nonsense. A lot of these guys don't even really try. So, you know, but yeah, man, stay tuned. Excuse me, I don't know what my next video might be. It might be something for the ladies actually. I might have something for them, but other than that, just check out my main channel. It's Throw Finesse. Like I said, links will be in the description so you can check that out. I'm actually working on some videos on that. I've kind of been slacking for the longest, but you know, it'd be like that sometimes. But this year I'm trying to do a little bit better. But yeah. But I'll check y'all. I'll see y'all guys on the next one. Peace out.